Trojan War was a great series of battles fought between the Greek and the Trojan, sometime in the late Bronze Age, 1200 to 1500 BC, according to the stories from Homer. It was the greatest war of its time that includes a multitude of exemplary warriors and even a few maiden Greek gods. The war is said to have raged on for so long and claimed so many lives because as mighty and multitudinous as the Greek army was, there were simply no match for Trojan defense that were strategically enacted around the city of Troy. What precipitated the Trojan War? How long did it last and who won the Trojan War? Let's look at the myth, the facts, and the story that make the tale of the war one of the most important narratives in the Greek mythology.
How did the Trojan War begin? To this date, the main source of information on the Trojan War is Homer's Iliad. According to Homer, who lived a few centuries after the war had ended, the entire conflict began when Paris, a prince of Troy, met Helen, a queen of Sparta. Homer's Iliad was written something within the 8th century BCE. According to Greeks, the war took place during the 13th century BCE. While Homer himself wasn't alive when the war took place, the tales surrounding the conflict were part of long-standing oral tradition pillar to his work. Homer combined this tale and other sources to give a picture of what must have precipitated the war and how it panned out.
Here is the story according to Greek tradition. The Trojan War came about for two main reasons. Zeus, the kind of the god, wanted to find a way to reduce the ever-increasing human population. However, before all that, there are stories that claim the entire thing came about as a result of the meddling Greek gods. You see, three of the most beautiful goddesses of Olympus, Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera, were contesting which one of them was the fairest of all. For just they picked young Paris, a prince of Troy, known for his passion and love for beautiful women. In an attempt to rig the election, Aphrodite promised Paris that he should give him Helen, the most beautiful woman on earth, if he picked her. So he did. The only problem here was that Helen was already married to Menelaus, the king of Sparta. While on the diplomatic mission to Sparta, Paris seduced Helen, who thanks to the influence of Aphrodite, fell in love with him. There are conflicting stories as to how Helen ended up going back to Troy with Paris. Some say that Paris observed her, perhaps because he felt that she was rightfully his according to the agreement he had with Aphrodite. Some say that Helen went out of her own accord because she preferred Paris to her tyrant of her husband Menelaus. Either way, this love story, like many others before and after, it resulted in a war which we know as the Trojan War.
Menelaus, the king of Sparta and rightful husband to Helen, felt so slighted by the fact that the Trojans refused to return his wife that he went to his brother, Agamemnon of Mycenae, Greece. Menelaus pleaded with his brother to help him wage war against the Trojans for the great insult that they had paid him, and Agamemnon agreed. So they began to amass a great Greek army, which included several cities within the region, including Sparta, Arcadia, Boeotia, Phorcea, Athens, Argos, Euboea, Corinth, Cephalonia, Rhodes, Crete, Magnesia, and Cyclades. It's unclear just how many men this army totaled, but at some point, Helen, formerly Helen of Sparta and now Helen of Troy, became known as the face that launched 1,000 ships. That's how many ships the Greeks sailed to Troy. Homer says that the men were as many as the leaves and flowers that come in springtime. It was of the war that would be remembered for 1,000 years. Amongst the Greeks, there were some notable warriors and special heroes. Some, such as Achilles, were demigods who had one parent as a mortal, while the other was a god. Some of the most notable warriors on the side of the Greeks were Achilles, Patroclus, Diomedes, Odysseus, Antilochus, Menesthius, Idomeneus, and Ajax. Additionally, the Greeks were held by several meddling gods of Greek orientation including Athena, Hera, Poseidon, Hephaestus, Thetis, and Hermes. These gods had their favorite warriors, and they often protected them by deflecting arrows and spears away from them. They even went as far as fighting them away on some association so as to take them away from the dangers of battle.
The Trojan army and defenses. Troy was a well-protected city with an impregnable wall. Add to that the fact that King Priam was a rather smart and his son, Hector, the crown prince, was believed to be just as deadly in battle as Achilles, despite not being a demigod himself. The Trojans also had allies and received help from a few gods, such as Ares, Apollo, later Aphrodite.
Who won the Trojan War? The Greeks, being unable to penetrate the walls of the city, found a way to have the Trojans invite them in unknowingly. They built a huge wooden horse and disappeared in it. The Trojans, on finding the horse and seeing no Greeks, assumed the horse was a gift from the gods who had struck down all their enemies in the night. They brought the horse back within the city walls, where the Greeks come out in the dark of night and burned down the city of Troy. Only a few Trojans escaped.